Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Chathur Mukham, the Malayalam film directed by Ranjeet, Kamala, Sankar and Salil.V. I identified a lot with this movie because at one point I used to be the kind of person that Manju Warrier plays here. Her name is Tejaswini. I used to be a Tejaswini as well because I used to wake up early in the morning and the first thing I would do is look at my phone, look at my messages. I wasn't much of an Insta person then, but this is what I would do. I would check my messages. The first thing I would do as soon as I wake up was look at my phone. That is what she does. And the film opens with a quote by Thoreau that says, "Men have become tools of their tools." Here it's Tejaswini, a woman who's become a tool of her smartphone, which is a scientific tool. Now, even though Tejaswini is the kind of person who wakes up in the morning and takes a selfie of her and, hi, hello world and kind of person, she's not a silly, vain kind of woman. She is very logical. She tells her mother that she will not get married until she's first financially settled. Secondly, she has a co-worker, Anthony, played by Sunny Wayne. Now, she's not romantically attracted to him either. She just looks at him as a business partner. The point is that even such a smart, sensible, sorted woman can become possessed by her smartphone the way a person can get possessed by a ghost. And this premise is literalized in this techno-horror story by writers Abhayakumar and Anil Kurian. The fact is that so many things here are like us. It doesn't even apply to Tejaswini, it applies to us because, sometimes when you're without your smartphone, you feel like you're missing a limb. That phantom limb phenomenon, right? This feels like that. And here, when Manju is away from her phone, she literally gets a rash on her hand, which is, of course, a little about the ghost thing that's happening here. Now, I just said it's a techno-horror movie, right? Maybe I want to rephrase that because this is not really the kind of horror movie that gives you all the jump scares and things like that. Even though I did jump out of my chair at one moment. This, I think you could call the atmosphere more as eerie, something like gently supernatural. Now, there is nothing random about this movie. Everything is solidly written and solidly plotted out. For example, there is a solid reason why the ghost exists. There is a solid reason why the number 21 is important. There is a solid reason why there is a mad scientist kind of character in this movie. Now, science is there throughout this movie. The business that Tejaswini runs with the partner is about CCTVs, and there is another scientist played by Alancia Lopez who's always marvelous. He is first seen teaching a class about energy. He says, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So somebody else asks him later, what if we die? What does the energy inside us? Is that what becomes a ghost and starts wandering around? I love the way how this Alancia Lopez character believes in science even though he's being presented by Tejaswini evidence that, look boss, this is not science, this looks like something supernatural. He still keeps his belief in science till the very end. And even the way in the end when the ghost is killed, of course there's no spoiler here because in such a movie evil is always killed. Even the way the ghost is killed, that is a scientific thing. Now, compared to the bunch of Malayalam movies we have seen recently, Chathur Mukham is a more mainstream movie in the sense that it's not really breaking many rules, but what it does very, very well. There are many, many little touches that work very well. For example, the Alancia Lopez character, he's a man of science and yet he's afraid of flying. Tejaswini is the kind of character who typically turns up late for meetings. These little traits humanize these characters. Now about the performances, Alancia Lopez and Sunny Wayne offer terrific support, but this is really Manju Warrior's film from start to finish. She plays this woman who at first she cannot let go of her phone, and then gradually as the film progresses, the phone won't let go of her. Manju Warrior beautifully delineates the difference between being scared and being terrified because her character has to play both shades. Of course, a lot of this has to do with the writing as well. But what I really liked about Tejaswini is that she gradually is a person who begins to understand that yes, I may be dead in a certain amount of time and I have to start accepting that fact. So she actually becomes, despite the fact that she's scared, despite the fact that she's terrified, she actually becomes a little normal because it's like fate is right in front of her, and Manju Warrior plays this character, as I said again, beautifully. There are only two things that bothered me about Chathur Mukham. One is the length. The length is 2 hours 15 minutes, which is actually not a very long film. But something about it, I don't know whether it is my own deficiency, my own attention spans have changed, but I felt that maybe some scenes just went on a bit too long because one of the things about horror films, even if they are very different, even if they're differently written like this, is that there is an arc that's going to happen. They're going to start investigating, at some point they're going to discover why this is happening, and then that they have to figure out a way to stop this from happening. maybe 2 hours 15 minutes was a little too long for that narrative. And some people may complain, not me, because I'm not the greatest fan of horror films like which make you jump out of your seat. Some people may complain that there are not enough jump scares, but that didn't bother me because really this is not so much a horror film as a techno thriller. And what it wants to do, Chathur Mukham does very well. That's the end of this video. If you like this video, do subscribe to Film Companion South and see you soon at the movies.